This video review is being brought to you by PrimeToys.net. PrimeToys.net. We can get you collector grade toys at not the collector grade prices. PrimeToys.net. And I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hey guys, it's your friend Dinobot here once again for another video review for you. And this one is actually going to be just a little bit different. This isn't actually going to be a full blown out review for this. This is actually going to be a comparison. What you see in front of you is the Takara version of the Combined Wars Leader Class Ultra Magnus. Big thanks to PrimeToys.net, who gladly get me a good deal on this, and I managed to pick him up. I really like this guy. I have the original. I have the Hasbro, which I'm going to bring into the picture here in just a moment. But I got a great deal on this one. I really wanted this guy, the Takara version, mostly really for this guy, for the Alpha Trion. But I wanted him period just outright because I wanted to get the Takara version because I thought from everything I saw of him, he looked better than the Hasbro. It's nothing against the Hasbro one. There's nothing really difference between these two other than the paint, which we'll get into in this review. But I really wanted to just, like I said, this is just going to be different. I'm not really going to transform them. This is mostly just going to be, I'm going to compare what differences there are between these two. And to start off, we're going to slide Takara right here, out on the side here. We're going to actually bring in the Hasbro right next to them. And then we're going to also have, of course, both the little mini guys, as I guess you can say. We're going to have them here as well. And for some reason they don't want to stand. It could be my hands, because my hands are kind of shaking right now from my nerves. But first and foremost, right off the bat, as you can see, just by looking outright at them, you can see there's a lot of paint difference. Before we really get into looking at the Magnuses, the armor, so I guess you can say, we're going to look at the mini guys here. In the Hasbro release, we got Minimus Ambus, which this is basically, in the comics and everything, he is Ultra Magnus. He's the pilot for the armor. He is a load bearer character. He's been piloting the Magnus armor for years. I don't really think they actually say exactly how long, or at least if they did, I don't exactly remember. But as you know, in the comics and stuff, that Magnus was a character at one point. He dies, and his popularity or his esteem, kind of like being Optimus Prime, you know, they felt we got to keep the spirit alive for him. So what they did was they managed to take his spark out, put a piloting chamber or pilot seat in him, and they managed to find a couple of people that could actually pilot him. At the current time, Minimus Ambus is the one piloting him, and it's pretty cool. He's really nice looking. But in the Takara version, we have the same exact mold, just painted differently into, as you can see, and I apologize if my hands are shaking, but piloted or painted into Alpha Trion, which if many don't know who Alpha Trion is, he is basically, in the current line, he's basically considered one of the 13 primes. In the old G1 series and stuff, he was basically known as the one who rebuilt Orion Pax and into what we know as Optimus Prime. Currently, he is just kind of like a mentor. He has come out and said, "I am one of the 13." So he's basically one of the 13 primes. He's flat out told us 2 prime, and he's more like an advisor to him and stuff, and that. But it's pretty cool. I really do like the way the look is of this. I'm flipping around to the back. You can see basically in the back it is the exact same mold. Just, you know, being Minimus Ambus is basically all white. He's got this light green and he's got this patch of dark green right there and a little bit of red for his eyes. And that's basically all the paint for Minimus. Where Alpha Trion, I'll set him down so I can Now this one, he has a little bit more to him. He has, of course, looking on the back. Well, also, I forgot to mention, he does have this little black bit here for his windshield, basically for his vehicle mode. Alpha Trion, of course, has the purple. He has the red, and he has the silver for like the windshields and stuff, like here and here. He even has a lighter shade of purple. It looks like in some areas around him, and actually he's got more facial paint detail work than what Minimus has. I'm not sure what this is going to come out across the camera. I'm trying to keep them in focus, but my hand shaking is not exactly going to. But you can see Alpha Trion does have a little bit more paint detail. Makes his face look a little bit more better. Not greatly, because mostly all you see is basically like with Minimus, they had the dark green basically for his mustache and stuff. Alpha Trion, they just basically took a lighter pinkish purple color, painted his face, got his eyes blue, and basically left the mustache and beard white, and it gives it great ambiance in my book. I think it looks really, really cool. I mean, between the two of them, I think Alpha Trion looks better in every way, though I would love to have seen him bigger, as a bigger character. But still, I know we have gotten third-party figures of this, but still, I think in the paint detail wise, I think the Alpha Trion does look better outright for these smaller weapons, or for smaller characters for the armor. We're going to set them to a side, and we'll go ahead and look at the accessories for them. And I should have took the Hasbro weapons apart, but I didn't, because this is kind of how I've been displaying him. I've been having him displayed with his hammer, basically in hammer mode. Well, first and foremost, we'll just go ahead and look right here at the missile pods. Nothing really different at all between them. They're basically the same. Looking outright at it, you can kind of tell that the missiles for the Takara version is a darker red, and it is actually a different white, like a whiter white than this one. It's like this looks like a clearer white. This is like a darker looking white. So I mean, that is one difference between these. But it basically is exact same mold, nothing different at all between them. So that's one for that, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'll set this one aside, and I'll go ahead and put the pods, this one back on the Takara just to do that. Weaponry wise, for the rest of the weapons for them, just take these apart a little bit. You can see, again, same exact mold, no difference, aside from, well, actually, there is a little bit of a difference. I didn't even notice that till just now. The Hasbro version is black, and as you can see, just a shade smaller. Not even I wouldn't even say a quarter, an eighth of an inch at the most. I mean, it's not that much smaller in length. You can, just by pointing it. Well, no, it might not be. It may just be my hands, the way my hands are shaking, might kind of make it. They are actually the same size. I apologize for that, because just setting them like this, you can see they're basically the same size. I guess the way I had it there, it kind of looked like they were bigger. Yeah, they're the same size. I guess I see what it was is I actually had it back here, which actually made it look a little bit bigger. So that's my fault in the comparison. But again, it's the same mold, no difference at all, other than the Hasbro, is black, Takara is white. Now, this kind of disappoints me because I would like to see it this way. I'd rather have this one with the Takara, which is probably what I will do. I'll probably just switch the weapons out. Another thing I'm probably going to do is switch out their pilots just a little bit, just because I'll explain why here shortly as we get on to more of the comparison of the rest of it. But again, as you can see, it's basically the same weapons. Same here as well. got black and white. I mean, it's the same thing. Now we got those out of the way. Let's go ahead and look at the armor themselves. I'm going to start basically down at the bottom and work my way up. First, well, let's just do it in this comparison. First and foremost, the blue. You can see it's got lighter blue. This is a lot darker looking blue comparison, and it looks more vibrant, looks more appealing to me. Looks very, very good. Other than that, we have that difference. We have right here, basically in the piston joint area, I guess you can say, of the feet, you have the silver. Makes it more look like actual pistons and whatnot down there. Where with the Hasbro, you still have it. It's because again, it's the same mold, but it's not painted. It's all this light blue. The joint bound down there as well is you have white here, where you have a red for the Takara. I'm going to flip these around real quick because I want to show this back piece. Where you have this panel here, which basically in vehicle mode becomes like the in between, I guess like midsection of the trailer, is all red. Where the Takara is all blue, aside from this little area which is red, which looks almost like where it bend. You would think, or basically like I'm not even sure what they're called for a truck. If you were to go to a truck yard and see like a regular trailer where it has those little legs that stick down to help hold the trailer up when the truck's not connected to it, this is basically what these pieces are. I think it looks really cool. I think it makes this look stands out a little bit better towards the figure. But I mean, I think other than that, it does look really good. Because again, it's like I said, when you get into vehicle mode, it makes this stand out a little bit more. Next, we'll flip this around back to the front, and we're going to look right here in the front of the shins. Right away, again, the white is brighter white here for the whiteness of them. You still have the same painted area here of red, though this red is brighter than this one on the Hasbro. Have the same silver, basically. Actually, yeah, it is basically the same type of silver paint right there for that piston. And then, of course, you have these section here and down around here is all painted blue on the Takara, where the Hasbro, of course, is all white. And you got right here, basically in the knee, where that little section is painted yellow, where this is just plain white. Going up, and the legs, of course, you have all white for the legs area and the hips, and all here, and all right in here in the basically the hip joint area right there. Where in the legs you have on the Takara, you have red, a darker red for the hip, and then you have the blue tinted paint and that all for the upper, basically in the crotch area, with the white as well. Next area going up, we got his chest. You got the, again, still darker blue. You have the darker red, same yellow paint between them. This is the same, not quite the same silver. I think it's a brighter silver than that. You go on up, of course, you still got the darker blue. Now, one other issue you notice as well, on the Hasbro, you have the one Autobot logo right there on his chest. Takara doesn't have that. He actually has it on his each of his shoulders. So that is definitely a plus as well. And again, you have the blue on the forearms and a darker blue for the Takara. Lastly, before I get more off on the shoulders, you have right here, you have all this is like a dark silver metallic paint for this area here on the Takara, where the Hasbro just has basically the light blue with the silver on the inside, which I'm not getting in focus there, I apologize. You can see it there. I mean, it's definite difference, and look, to me, this definitely looks better. Looks in the silver wise, Color scheme wise, I don't know, I might could have seen the dark blue going around there, like just basically around that too, just to make it look a little bit more fashy, but it still looks pretty good. And again, the head, well, before we get to the head, let's go ahead and look here in the shoulder area. I'm going to face them this way because it is kind of better. And I'm going to have to raise that up there. Alright, I'm also going to take these missile pods out just to kind of show the difference here between, so you can see it better. You can see like you have the white. It is again different with some whiteness. This is a brighter white to this is a paler, and you also have the yellow bits here in the shoulder. It makes it look a lot better. Also, I didn't note these as well. You can see it kind of stands out better as well here with these back wheels. It will stand it out better. You have in the whoa, I gotta tighten my joints on this guy, or at least keep them standing better. But you got the silver paint for the rims and stuff on the Takara version with a Hasbro. You can see it's got it on all the wheels. Doesn't have it. I mean, it's just that stands out alone. It makes it look really cool. I actually wouldn't mind seeing if I actually wonder, considering recently, well, fairly recent, we got from non-F, we got the rubber tire basically sets for the Luxes and stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing them come out with a set, if these are possible to get off, to make these into rubber tires. That would make this really stand out. I know Yoshi from Transmissions, if you're watching, bud, I know you'd love that too. Now, lastly, we're going to look at the head sculpt. The head sculpt is it's the exact same mold. Only real difference, you got the lighter blue on the Hasbro with the silver paint on a light blue for the eyes and the silver for the antennae. You go to the Takara, we'll just slide this back. Takara version, same dark blue. It's got a dark silverish paint. I want to say that's the same light blue they're using for the eyes. It really looks like it. It might be just a shade darker for the Takara. And then you got the white antennae and then the black right there, basically in this in the forehead right there as well. Not too shabby at all. I think it looks really good. Other than that, there's not really any other difference. The paint is the main issue. I'm actually going to open these up just to show you the front end of the trucks, because it is a little bit different there as well. Paint wise, you got a darker silver paint with the yellow, darker yellow for the headlights and stuff. You know, it's white as well. And before, I'm sure some of you are asking, well, what about the cockpit? Is it painted or anything? I'm just going to raise the heads up real quick and open up the cockpits to them. And as you can see, there's not really any difference other than the white shade to it. Is still the same inside interior. I'm not sure how well that's coming across, but you get the idea. It's still the same type of interior. I would have loved to seen, you know, maybe some paint in there, or if we can get repo labels. I know they have a set out. I don't know if the set includes little bits to go in there. I need to double check that, but again, that's something that this could use. Sadly, I don't have any, not the coordination, but basically I want to say the steadiness with my hands to sit and actually try to paint in there. I've seen people who have, and I think that looks really cool. If I could do that with mine, I would. I really, really would, but I don't have, my hands can't stay steady enough to do that like that. I probably could try, and then I'd probably end up with like, oh, I'm trying to paint this, say, brown for the seat, and then I end up with a red streak here from where I tried painting, you know, one section over here or something, you know. But that more likely be what happened with me. But that's going to be it, guys. I mean, which one I would recommend you prefer, or would I recommend for you to pick up? If you can, situation wise, money is always the key to these guys. If you don't have a lot of money and you want a good Magnus figure, pick up the Hasbro. You can go online, get the Hasbro release for $20, $30, I'm sure, roughly around there, depending on where you go. Heck on this. His joints are kind of bad on this one. Really got to tighten them up somehow. Oh, also, I know there's an upgrade kit coming out. I can't remember. I never can remember what company's doing it, but it's supposed to replace the forearms, give you some better legs and a better weapon, gives you a new head and everything for this guy. I don't know if they're going to be doing it in both color schemes. I hope they do. And if they do, if I can only get one, I'm going to get the Takara one. But I will wait and see. I will see how that comes. But again, like I said, money-wise, I highly recommend you, if you don't have the whole lot of money, go ahead and pick up the Takara, or excuse me, the Hasbro. It's a great for the price. If you want the better paint, if you want the better looking one, to me, definitely pick up the Takara. If you just want to get it built mostly for Minimus, or excuse me, for the Minimus or the Alpha Trion, if you want the Alpha Trion, get the Takara. If you want Minimus, get the Hasbro. Or it'd be like me, where you just wanted to either one. If you just love the mold, thought it was really cool, get both like I did. I mean, I love them both. I really do. I have spoken up on this. I'm a big fan of the fact I would love to see James Roberts and the other guys from IDW to come up with maybe a one-shot or something like that, where basically we have a history of the Magnus armor and see who's all piloted it. Because I mean, if they have Alpha Trion on it, at some point Alpha Trion must have piloted it in some battle. Maybe he was under attack by somebody, he happened to get knocked into this hall where the armor was sitting, and he's like, oh, I need help, and he jumps in it and starts piloting it, or something, just to help him fight off some Decepticons or whatnot. But stuff like that I think would be pretty cool. A good history of the Magnus armor, see what happened to the original pilot or original spark that was in it, and how Minimus eventually got the armor himself. Stuff like that would be pretty cool. But guys, that's going to be it for this video review. And if you should know, go to primetoys.net and you can pick up either one of these armors. I know you can get the Takara. I'm fairly certain you can get the Hasbro. I'll have links. If I don't have links to one, I'll have links to both or whatnot on there. Definitely worth going and picking them up. Definitely worth the time to get them, because this is just so freaking awesome. I love this mold. I love everything about it, and I love the character. But that being said, guys, please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. Also, check out the Transmissions podcast. They are fellowly sponsored by the primetoys.net. They do some great shows. They talk about anything and everything Transformers that you can relate to. Comics, toys, pop culture, you name it, they'll talk about it. They're definitely worth listening to, guys. And with that note, guys, all I can say is, this is Dumbout saying thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.